Hello, welcome to the club. I'm your host, Philip Landers.
And I'm his co-host, Caden Burrow.
It's our time to come back together for this talk show to get you caught up on all of our sport programs and other extracurricular activities going on at Cave City High School. And it's really going to be a shorter show for us this time.
Yes, sir. We're kind of winding down the fall sports. We're getting excited for basketball coming up.
Yeah, so these seniors, their year is just flying by, and especially for these teams that wrapped up. Our volleyball is finished, our golf is finished, and so we'll catch our folks up on the sports that are still in play. And let's start with football, Caden.
Well, our football team dropped their previous two matches to unfortunately fall to 0-8 on the season. It's been a difficult season with the teams we're playing, and we don't have a whole lot of players, so we've got to do the best we can, and I'm sure that they're ready to go next week.
We're looking forward to talking with Cave City football coach Danny Brustrum here in just a moment when we get the inside take on football this week. And Mason Holt will be our guest player this week as we talk football as their season winds down here. 2 games left to go for them. Tennis wrapped up their season at state championships in Conway on October 9 and 10. Cam Fowler played some of her best tennis of the year and took the last set to a tiebreaker before coming up short in state tournament. Rachel Ballard and Miley Walker had a good doubles season, won their first round match, and then fell to last year's state runner-ups and ended up in the top 8 in the Class 3A ladies doubles. And then our freshman young men Elijah Beller and Hayden Herndon gave an experienced Bismarck team a close match, but ended up losing in the opening round. But that's some valuable experience for those 9th grade.
Yes, sir. Just imagine how that translates to next year and the year after that and then their senior year. An
That's
unstoppable
right.
force.
Yeah, they'll be used to going to the state tournament by then, and we're looking forward to that. Let's move on to cross country.
Well, our cross-country team traveled to Jacksonport to the state park on the 10th for the Tuckerman Bulldog River Run. Notable Cave City performances include the junior girls. Casey Arnold and Hadley Landers placed first and second. Senior girls, Brittany Mahan and Aubrey Milligan placed first and second as well. This was Aubrey Milligan's senior high career debut. Senior boys wise, Jude Doty, and he placed 7th overall. Cross-country team is idle this week as they prepare for the conference and state championships.
And they'll be here before we know it. Let's catch up on volleyball just a little bit here. They split their last 2 regular season matches. They got a win against Bald Knob, lost their last game to Harrisburg, went to district tournament, played Bald Knob again, got another win, and then fell to Harrisburg to close out their regular season. And so a lot of learning there. We enjoyed visiting recently with Coach Kelsey Steed, and they'll be back next year, and it will be next August. Before you know it, they'll be playing again.
Can't wait for it.
All right, that's your look at the goings-on as we sit at the moment. We're going to step away for just a moment, and then we'll come back with Cave City head football coach Danny Brustrum and senior football player Mason Holt with the inside take on football here on the club in just a moment.
Cable Channel 6 is here for you. Here are all the services that we offer to you. Let's start simple. We offer community access slideshows which last all day long. We create and air your business commercials. We offer filming and editing services for a fee. We are also seeking football and basketball sponsors for live casts. If any of these offers interest you, please call the Caveman Radio TV hotline at 283-3309. We are Cable Channel 6 and we cover everything that is Caveman.
Welcome back to the club. It's the inside take on football this week. We're happy to be joined by Cave City head football coach Danny Brustrum and our senior football player Mason Holt. This is Gavin's brother, and we're happy to have him with us today. Thanks for coming.
Happy to be here.
Coach, thanks for your time today.
Glad to be here.
We have a neat situation this week. Normally, we record these on maybe a Wednesday or Thursday to air on a Friday, and there's matches or games going before and after. But in our case, this is our bye week.
Yes, it's a late season bye week. We usually have it early in the year, but the last 2 years we've had it late in the year.
Right, so that allows us to kind of talk about things that will still be current when we get on the air with our show this week. So we're happy about that. And so long season, and we got a lot of guys banged up by this point, as usual.
Yeah, we've done fairly well with the number on the roster. We've got 2 guys down right now with ankle injuries. And we've been banged up on and off all season, but I'm pretty happy with the injury rate considering how many we started the season with.
Right, and so it's a very physical sport. It's kind of part of the game, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yep.
So we want to talk about some of the fun things that go along with football today and say some thank yous today. Let's start with our Friday morning tradition that you guys get to do, where you line up over at the elementary middle school where the buses unload and all those little kids come by. How much fun is that every week?
It's pretty fun, seeing their reactions and just being able to be a role model, essentially.
Yeah, they like high-fiving you guys. How many young ones have you had just rear back and give it all they've got?
90% of them.
90% of them, they're going to run. So where did you, when was the first time you maybe saw that tradition and you brought that with you to Cave City? I know, but.
We've been doing stuff with kids like that for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's a way for us to get over there and visit with them little kids some.
Right, and so they do enjoy that. I know driving the bus, a lot of times I pull up on Friday and they're happy to see you guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then I get to maybe rag on you some when I drive by when I'm lucky to, and I enjoy that myself. But we really appreciate that you guys are willing to give your time for that. And so that's something that you get to do to give to those little young ones. But let's also talk about our parents and families that are helping give to support our team. There's a lot that they do to help us get ready, especially on game day.
Absolutely. We start every game day by going to First Baptist Church, and there's some men there that feed us breakfast every single Friday. And then as the day goes on, we go to school, and come dinner time, we have local churches, families, banks. I mean, everybody in the community's helped with that for us. It takes a lot of pressure off us too. We don't have to worry about the food; it's taken care of.
That's right.
Misty Jones and Tara Barnett kind of spearhead that for us, and make sure we're fed every week, and we appreciate that. And they also make us sandwiches, PB&Js for the ride home after the games too. Tara takes care of that for us. Misty helps her. There's several moms that help with that for us. So we're well fed on Fridays, for sure.
We like that. And first of all, what time does your day start? What time do you have breakfast on Fridays?
The kids get here by 6:45, and we eat at 7 a.m. every Friday.
Okay, and then you're up here about, 7:30 or so?
We try to be there by 7:30.
To see the
Yes.
kids.
Yep.
And so that's a good early start. And is there a target number of calories? What's the goal when we feed? Because you've got to, or is there some specific type of food that you want them to eat before a game?
Well, we just eat whatever they
whatever they
for
give
us.
you.
Yes,
Well, teenage boys will do
Yeah.
that too. They'll eat whatever.
we get a good variety of foods, different
okay.
things. We try to stay away from the greasy foods,
Okay.
but other than that, it's whatever they feed us.
Right.
We're happy.
I'll take the greasy food and that makes sure we don't stick you guys. So, what's your favorite pregame meal, Mason?
Probably biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy. Can't go wrong with bacon or sausage.
Sausage.
Okay. Patties or links?
Patties.
Patties. Okay. Well, there. Chocolate gravy, white gravy.
Chocolate.
Chocolate gravy. Okay. I'll be eating breakfast with this guy. I can tell right now we agree on our breakfast. So let's talk about our seniors a little bit today. Some years we have a lot, and some years we have a few. 3 this year, I think.
3
So
seniors.
let's talk about our seniors and brag on them for a minute.
Yep. We have Mason Holt here. Played football since the 7th grade since I've been here. We've got Millie Beller, who joined us as an 8th grader and has been with us all through. And Matthew Baker, I think he come here when he was a sophomore. He transferred over and
Right.
has been with us for 3 years now. And that is all of our seniors. The littlest class I've ever coached of seniors.
Right. And Millie, by the way, 4-year starter at kicker.
Yep. Female kicker, 4-year starter.
Yeah.
Probably one of the only girls in the state that's played football for 4 years and lettered 4 years.
Right. Now, of course, we got Mason here, and we'll get back to you in a second, but we ran a fake punt with Millie a few weeks ago. She ran the ball. What did she say to you after that play? Do you recall?
Yeah, she got crushed, and I asked her if she's okay. She said it didn't hurt.
No, she handled
She's
it just
tough.
fine. Yeah, she
Hey,
probably
she gets in the
enjoyed
weight.
that.
She gets in the weight room just like the boys, and
Yeah.
and she's fit for football.
Yeah. So and she's great. I tell you, and you and I have had conversations about how high school teams react to a kickoff that it's a live ball, and so much of the time they don't react like they're really supposed to, and she can just put that ball wherever you want it, and it creates a good situation.
Yep.
Sometimes.
I don't know how many onside kicks we've recovered in her
Right.
4 years, but it's in the double digits.
Yeah, and that's a unique thing, and
Yeah.
so we're going to miss her next year. We'll miss you too. What's
Yeah.
your favorite moment as you look back? And you're a senior. I'm sure you're looking back on that a little bit.
Man, I don't really know. I mean, yeah, the game's all fun, but I think the relationships that are built from doing it, probably that.
What positions do you play?
Receiver and safety.
Receiver and safety. So it kind of helps because when you're the receiver, you know what the safety might want to do because you play that position, and then vice versa on defense, right? It helps you read those guys. So,
Yeah.
that's good. So we appreciate that you guys came by sometime. Just a couple of weeks left in the season. What are we hoping for our last 2 weeks? I mean, we know we want to win, but what are you looking for? Bald Knob's our next opponent. What do we know about them?
They're a spread team. They got numbers similar to ours. 25. They're dressing out 25, 26. Now that may change with freshmen moving up. We plan on moving freshmen up. They're going to move freshmen up. So both rosters may be 35-ish, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Come Friday night, we play Bald Knob. They got a strong quarterback. He's a excellent running / he's a dual threat, run and throw. He's also their best defensive player. He plays inside linebacker, which is unique for a quarterback to be an inside linebacker. And he's a good player. If we can control him, we feel like we got a good shot to beat him.
Excellent. So we'll have our last junior high game on Thursday, I've lost track of my days here, 25th,
I'm not
26th, right? And then the next night, our ninth graders will come up, and then we have that game. And then the Harding Academy game's the week after to close out the regular season.
That's correct.
Okay. So senior night then, when Bald Knob comes to town on, that would be the 27th. That's Friday the 27th as I finally get my
that's
days in
right.
my mind. And so we want a big crowd, certainly last home game of the year and senior night for these guys. And so that means you get to walk out with your parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a fun time for them. And so let's hope for good weather for sure. We've had some benign weather lately.
Yeah. Been dry.
Yes, very.
And you know, the temperatures have finally cooled off, which has helped our players.
Right.
You know, we haven't had the trouble with cramps and the heat that we had early in the year, where it was probably the worst that I've seen in my 14 years as a head coach.
Yes, we had the early season, and it stayed very warm for maybe a couple of weeks longer than normal.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah. So, and that's a big part of it. So, all right. Closing thoughts, Mason, about being a caveman playing football for Cave City.
I like it a lot.
Like it a lot. We like that. Final word from the coach today.
Go Cavemen.
Go Cavemen. We appreciate Coach Brustrum and Mason Holt, Gavin's brother, for coming out today for the Inside Take on Football. Braden and I will be right back with more of the club in just a moment.
Dude, smoking is great.
You do realize that smoking can cause lung cancer, right?
Yeah, right, you're lying.
No, I'm serious. My grandfather had it, and he was always coughing up black tar.
I'm sorry for your loss, but I don't really care, and I don't believe you.
All right, well, don't say I didn't warn you.
For more information, follow Project Prevent on Facebook and Instagram at Project Prevent AR.
Welcome back to the club. We appreciate Coach Brustrum and Mason Holt giving us some time there for the Inside Take on Football. And now we'll close our show this week by looking ahead on our sports calendar. And let's start with football.
Well, the Cavemen are off this week, but will return next Friday, the 27th, at home to face off against Bald Knob. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. It's notable because this is our last home game for the seniors. It is senior night. Let's have a good time. Let's hopefully win our first game of the season.
Yeah, and you know, high school sports, you always want to give those seniors that nod as they get to the end of their careers. And there are some sports like tennis or golf, you can go on and you'll keep playing, but for 99.99% of players, their last time they play football is in a high school game, and so that's a big thing.
It's pretty emotional, that's for sure.
It certainly is. So we need a big crowd next Friday night for senior night here at Cave City when Bald Knob comes to town, and that ought to be a fun ball game. And the weather's been really good for us lately, so let's hope that holds out.
It's been cooling off, that's for sure.
Well, it's finally here, isn't it? And
I wake up and I got to wear a hat to school. It's unbelievable.
I can tell.
It goes right in.
Well, what are we going to do?
Fast.
I should do that. Cross country, let's take a look at their schedule coming up. They'll compete in the 3A-2 Conference Championships hosted by Melbourne High School on Tuesday, October 24th. That's this coming Tuesday, with the races beginning at 3:30. Their final meet for the 2023 season will be the state championships in Hot Springs, Arkansas on Friday, November 3rd. Races begin at 2 p.m. for the girls, 2:45 p.m. for the boys. Best of luck to our cross-country teams as they finish out, and we're expecting to see some good results based on what we've seen so far this year from those kids.
Yes, sir. They're a dominant group of kids, that's for sure.
That's right. Let's talk about our last comment for today. Will be our next episode, Braden. As again, our golf is finished, tennis has finished.
It's just all winding down.
And volleyball has finished, and so basketball is coming, and so we'll be talking about basketball soon. And it's always a lot of fun when we get to move indoors for the sports when it gets cold.
Yeah, we can just sit in there in the heating and enjoy the game.
That's right. And then there's always the fun of the snow days and the makeup games part of basketball. So we'll next join you here on the club, on the air, on Friday, November the 3rd at 5:30 p.m. We'll be talking with the cheerleaders next time, and that'll be fun. And until then, we will see you on the club.